during the primary on August 30th. But for those of you who haven't had a chance to meet me or haven't to knock on your door and ask for your vote, my name is Mike Prendergast. I'm a sixth-generation native Floridian, and I'm proud to be your Republican nominee for sheriff of Citrus County on the ballot for November 8th. By way of background, I married my high school sweetheart right after high school, and we've been together now for nearly 4+ decades, and we've lived all over the world. We had the privilege to choose where we wanted to live a few years ago, and we chose Citrus County because Citrus County always felt like home to Naomi and I. We felt a great sense of community, and we felt a great sense of connectedness with this community here, because I spent a lot of time here as a kid growing up. Well, back in 1978, I answered the call to serve our country as an American soldier. I enlisted in the United States Army as a private, went off to the military police school, and I became a U.S. paratrooper as well. I rose up through the ranks from private to sergeant in 24 months while I was stationed at Fort Bragg, and 23 months later, I was commissioned as the second lieutenant of military police. Now, I won't take you through 23 different assignments as a military policeman over the course of the 31 years I was in uniform, but here's what I want you to take away from this conversation tonight. I commanded military policemen and women in combat and in garrison on 5 tours of duty. I took our men and women into harm's way and brought all of those men and women back home. I also had the privilege of serving as a provost marshal, and for those of you who are not familiar with the military term provost marshal, a provost marshal is the sheriff of a command, and the sheriff of that command, in the case of the smallest command, was 225,000 citizens. The largest command was the United States Central Command, where it had a budget of $3 billion protecting the lives of hundreds of thousands of our patriots who were serving in harm's way. I look forward to your questions and the opportunity to talk to you after the forum concludes formally later tonight at our table. Thank you.
You mentioned quite a bit about your priority on drug enforcement. What would you do as sheriff that's not being done now, and why would that be more effective?
Thank you, Mike. Well, what I want to do is I want to take a task force approach to the drug problem across our community here. We talk with citizens across the community from every pocket, from old Homosassa to Floral City to Dunellen to Hernando, over in Beverly Hills, and time after time after time, the folks complain about the drug problem that's there, and they don't feel that enough's being done. So what I want to do is I want to work together not only with our sheriff's office, not only with the members of the community who are seeing this out there, but I also want to get together with our state, federal, and also some of the other local agencies that are out there to help us have a better, more task force-oriented approach to it. Because just because it's in Citrus County doesn't mean it's not penetrating over into Hernando, Levy, Sumter, or Marion counties, and vice versa. If we take a task force approach to it, we can solve the problems more complex than what they are being looked at today, and we can certainly do a better job of taking care of the community.
Thank you. Mr. Black?
Thank you. Great question. The problem is not at the upper echelon of the agency, ladies and gentlemen. We enjoy a very low crime rate because we've got great leaders in positions. The problem is down there where the rubber meets the road, where our deputies are out on patrol. I've got a piece of paper here that was on a pizza box from Papa John's, and some of you have heard me talk about that. We're paying our starting deputies less than what a Papa John's delivery driver earns on average here in Citrus County. And that's unconscionable to ask us to put our deputies out there who risk their lives on 12-hour shifts in the heat of the summer, in the dark of the night, without paying them a living wage. And I'm not disparaging Papa John's because I love my Papa John's pizza, but we've got to pay our deputies better than that. And oh, by the way, it also on here talks about what they pay. The starting average salary is $12. That's more than what we're paying our firefighters. If we don't address that, we're going to continue to hemorrhage the talent that we've got in this community, and they're going to go to other counties, whether it's Sumter, Marion, Hernando, Hillsborough, or whatever. We can't retain them if we don't pay them a living wage. Thank you, Mike. We're in a brick and mortar facility. Our deputies don't work from a brick and mortar facility. They work from a vehicle, and they respond to calls, or they're proactively going out and doing law enforcement operations. Every vehicle that a sworn law enforcement officer takes home with them at the end of the shift is a vehicle that's ready to respond when a crisis occurs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If we call those deputies, they will respond, and they will respond immediately to support the needs of our community. They've taken a solemn oath to support us, to defend us, and to protect us. So I have a great desire to keep it that way, because that mobile office is an investment in their capabilities to support this community and provide a safe and secure environment for you. I'm not a proponent of administrative personnel who are not sworn having a take-home vehicle. As you look across the county, all of the other administrative personnel who do not have a need to respond on a 24-hour day, seven-day-a-week basis, they don't have take-home vehicles from the county. Our folks in the admin and the sheriff's office shouldn't have a take-home vehicle either.
Thanks very much. This time, community service is always something to look for in any candidate, especially somebody running for sheriff. Can you tell us something you've done for the Citrus County community in the last 6 months that didn't involve your job or running for office?
Sure. I'm a 4th degree Knight of Columbus and a 3rd degree Knight of Columbus, and I'm very active in both my council and my assembly with the Knights of Columbus. I've also worked on a couple of other charities to make sure that whenever they've got a need, we make those needs go away to provide support. A great example of that is CASA, but also the Sheriff's Ranch thrift store, and also through some generous donations that we've been able to get from some of our friends down in the Tampa Bay area. We've been able to provide new clothing for the children that live up at the Caruth camp up there on US 19 up in Lee County.